I've been on Retatrutide and GHK-Cu for 3 months now, and as great as it's been, there were also some side effects that I have to share with you because I know you guys want to hear like the raw, unfiltered truth in these videos, so that's what I'm doing. No fancy editing, no sponsor links, none of that stuff. I do have a Discord. We discuss peptides, self-improvement, gym, all this kind of stuff. That's the only thing I really have here. Join it in the description down below. But to just straight up get into it, I've not only been on Retatrutide and GHK-Cu, but first I will list off the benefits I've noticed from being on these two. So Retatrutide's been a no-brainer. I started on 110 kilograms and I am now 98 kilograms. In 12 weeks, I've lost 12 kilos. I will put up the pounds on the screen as well for all of you Americans. But this has been a pretty significant weight loss transformation so far, losing about 1 kilogram per week. Now, I've done this before and I've lost weight in a similar fashion. However, the times I did this before was either on a carnivore diet or when I was like more dedicated to the gym and I was really like focused on actually losing the weight. But right now, honestly, I haven't even been going to the gym that much. I haven't been going on walks. I haven't increased my expenditure. And the weight's just flying off without me really trying. I'm also not really noticing any dips in energy, which has been amazing. The only times that I've been noticing a dip in energy is when I forget to eat. And this is one of the side effects. You need to get on some sort of a eating schedule to actually get in the calories that you need to fuel your body. Because during this Retatrutide journey that you're on, you're going to notice that your relationship with food is going to change in a way that you may not expect. You may have heard that the food noise turns off, which is one of the benefits to me. But to me, it's not just that. It's that I don't even feel like I want to eat bad food, and the only food that I want to eat is healthy. However, I don't have a real drive towards eating this healthy food. It doesn't really appeal to me. It's not exciting. The dopamine for food is gone. So you kind of have to get on some sort of systemic schedule for yourself to eat the things that fuel your body. For me, that's been super simple. Like I'm meal prepping some wraps. I just make wraps with chicken, Philadelphia, salad, like a little bit, like some simple stuff, right? I'll have some protein oats and then I'll have like chicken with rice. Some very basic stuff, but it gets me the nutrients that I need. Now, for the GHK-Cu, it's also been interesting. In the first month or 2 months, I didn't really notice that much. However, in months 2 to 3, I did start noticing that my skin started getting a little firmer. I started noticing that my hair got thicker. Now, I haven't gone to the barber, but I've had hair this length before, but it just hasn't been this like thick, I guess. I used to dye my eyebrows, but I feel like they're also darker than they usually are. So I guess the GHK-Cu is doing its thing. And one way I can actually verify this is by my nails, which is a clear indicator of strong collagen. My nails are very strong. You know how when you press down on your nails like this with your with both nails like facing each other, you can bend them. Well, it's really not that easy for me. It's hard to like say, oh, GHK-Cu has been amazing, and these are like the clear benefits, right? Because it's not like Reta. You can't step on the scale and see like your weight loss, but then for like GHK-Cu, if you get what I mean, I can't measure how well GHK-Cu is working. I think it's been great. I'm not using that many facial products. Like I'll apply a moisturizer here and there. I'll have a very simple skincare routine, but I do notice that I don't know, my skin has been pretty good. I'm not prone to acne. I'm not prone to any like taunts when it comes to like my skin being bad. So I'm someone who hasn't struggled with that. Now, obviously, if you're struggling with like severe acne, you probably have to like consider some isotretinoins like Accutane or something else. But yeah, GHK-Cu has been pretty good. Retatrutide has been pretty good too. I did deal with some reflux issues while being on Retatrutide, so this is also one of the side effects that I ended up dealing with because your food digests slower. And when you eat close before bed, your food may not be fully digested, and this can cause some reflux issues, making your stomach acid act up, go up into your esophagus and cause heartburn, for example, something I experienced. This may cause what is called like the blisters in your mouth, like the ulcers or ulcers. The acidity from your stomach goes to your mouth and your pH acidity is all thrown off. I did deal with this for a little bit. I just had to find out why it happened and what to do about it. I lowered my Reta dose and it's been great ever since, because I was on 2 milligrams when I had this. I jumped from 1 milligram to the next week to 1 milligram, then 1.5 that next week, then 1.5 that next week, and then to 2. And I did notice that 2 was a little bit too high for me. So I'm back to 1.5 now. Check out the description. I will put a screenshot, or I'll also put it on screen, but I'll put a screenshot in the description of my sheets that I'm keeping for my weight loss and for whatever I'm injecting. And in that screenshot, you'll see I'm also on different peptides, because I ended up ordering more directly from a Chinese lab. I decided, you know what, this Chinese lab has lab results. I don't want to be drop shipped from a European or American company with an influencer promotion link. Like, why would I do that? If I do some research, I can find my own, which I did. And I've been experimenting with some other peptides like Semax, with Selank. They're more like neuropeptides to improve your mood, improve your cognition, your anxiolytic profile, I guess that's how you call it, or like your anxiolytic effects. There's obviously more science about it, and I did research that. I'm just keeping it a little simple here for the video. I've also experimented with BPC 157. That's been an interesting one. Now, I didn't have any like real issues, like some injuries that I had to recover from, so I can't tell you that it's great for that. However, the literature on BPC 157 is significant. There's been a lot of studies on this peptide, and people have been benefiting from it for a long time. Then I've also been on HGH, which, you know, it is a peptide. It is a 191 polypeptide, I think it is. It's called polypeptide because there's so many different amino acids in this peptide. That's been great. My sleep's been amazing. I decided not to get on a growth hormone secretagogue like CJC, DAC, or what is the other one? MK677, or there's a couple other ones. I decided to straight go for the source, just straight up HGH. The recovery from the gym has been a little smoother than usual on that. My sleep is the biggest thing that improved, so much so that when I started taking it, I felt a little groggy, and having to deal with the balance between Retatrutide suppressing your hunger and HGH spiking your hunger, essentially, was a little hard to get adapted to, but I did figure it out, and that's been great ever since. And that's been pretty much the peptides that I'm on. I do have MOTS-C in the fridge here, but I haven't experimented with that yet. So if you have any questions, join the Discord. Leave them in the description down below. Description in the comments down below. Discord's in the description. Screenshot to whenever I was taking the Retas in the description. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys appreciate this unfiltered video. I just want to keep it real. Thank you all for the recent subscribers too. That's been amazing. Peace out.